how you can become a badass.
Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
Hello, and thank you for joining me on the Hopefulist, ready for your daily dose of inspiration and positivity. The quote of the day today comes from Louise Hay. If we really love ourselves, everything in our life works. Today we're going to be talking about my favorite book. You know it. You've heard me talk about it endlessly. And I'm going to be reading some excerpts from it for the next few days. Of course, the book I am talking about, Jen Sincero's You Are a Badass, How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life. But first, I wanted to tell you about my experience of getting my toes done for the first time since quarantine was lifted. I have not been back. I told you I've been using these color street strips for my nails, and I've been doing all of my nails myself, including my toes. I love these color street strips, and I just put on a fresh manicure yesterday of my fingernails. Dark Magic. It's got the Halloween feel to it. It's very, very cool. A little bit creepy. Just a touch. Not scary. Just gives you kind of the vibe, you know? I might actually take a picture of them and post them because they are awesome. I am loving them. But I decided I was going to get my toes done. Full-on pedicure because I hadn't had one since March. Before March. I did get a black market one during quarantine. I went to someone's house. So that was probably around April or May. So that's how long it's been since I've had an official pedicure. Oh, man, do I love me a pedicure. Oh, foot rub. A nice massage. So good. So I can tell you that at this particular salon, they do not seem to be hurting for business. There were at least 8 people there on a Tuesday afternoon. 8 customers, which I found to be odd at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday. So they are obviously still doing well. They have all of the partitions up to separate people, all the social distancing as can be expected in place. I was asked to wash my hands immediately when I came in the door. Fine, no problem. Have to wear a mask the entire time, of course. I was very excited to get the good old foot massage that I have missed terribly. I mean, terribly. And the cost of a pedicure went up $7. I had heard that, and this is going to be part of the problem with still so many people being out of work and the economy being in the state that it's in, is not only can we not afford things that we used to be able to afford, but now prices are increasing and dramatically. I mean, it was $29 pedicure before COVID, and now we went up to $36. So I don't know what percentage that is because I am not a numbers girl. I don't know off the top of my head, but that seems like a pretty high percentage increase if you ask me. Food prices are going through the roof. Just everything that you used to buy has dramatically increased in price. I had started taking this Prevagen, which is supposed to help with your memory. And it seemed to be doing a pretty good job. But lately, I'm not sure it's working anymore. But now I'm in this awkward position where I'm like, well, if I stop, do I get worse? And I'm probably going to stop for the fact that it's pretty pricey. When I first started taking it, I believe a 1-month supply for regular strength was like $30. Then I decided to up it to the extra strength, which was another additional 10 milligrams. And that doubled the price. Okay. Last time I bought it, I bought a 2-month supply for $100. It's a lot of money. So then I had to restock. Now it's $130. Went up $30. It's a lot. So it's just another example of how and why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. You know, we're talking about things now like regular grocery store food that has just skyrocketed in the last couple of months. And, you know, these things always go up quickly, but rarely come down. The topic for today, I wanted to hear what your thoughts were on spaghetti sauce or gravy. I'm surprised I didn't hear more from the Italians in this. Now, this little particular informal survey has sauce hands down. I think there's 2 people that called it gravy. Some people are saying sauce is red, gravy is brown. However, I have heard Italians in the past say that gravy is considered gravy when there is meat in it. Kathy says, as an Italian, my mother, who was Calabri, called it gravy. My mother-in-law, whose family was from Naples, called it sauce. So needless to say, this has been an ongoing argument between my husband and I for 45 years. Different areas of Italy have different names for it, but there is nothing like homemade. Yeah, I don't know. I still like my ragu. And then Jay says gravy when I am with my Italian mother-in-law and sauce when I am with everyone else. My mother-in-law says it's only gravy when it has meat in it. Yeah, that's what I had heard. But, you know, Linda had said, is that even a question? So I'm not sure if she thinks that it's sauce or gravy. She's from Texas, so I'm going to guess that she thinks it's called sauce. But yeah, almost every single person said that it is sauce in this little informal poll. Now, Lauren says at this point when it comes out of my mouth, I just say marinara. I'm not even letting my families influence each other anymore. So she just says, I'm making marinara sauce. That is a very diplomatic way of handling it. So on to the would-be blog post of the day. I have, in lieu of a blog post, decided to read you a little bit from the book that changed my life, that made me into a happy hopefulist rather than a pissy pessimist. And this comes in chapter 6, which is titled, Love the One You Is. That's right. Jen Sincero writes, I was hanging out at my brother Bobby's house one day, lying on the couch watching his then 2-year-old son waddle around. At one point, someone knocked something off the coffee table, and my little nephew bent down to pick it up. Bobby turned to me and said, Did you see that? The guy knows exactly how it's done. He bends at the knees, keeps his back straight, hips squared, stomach tight. Flawless. She goes on to say, when we are born, we have an instinctual understanding of some of the most important basics of life. That includes and goes way beyond bending at our knees instead of our lower backs to pick up a beer can up off the floor. We're born knowing how to trust our instincts, how to breathe deeply, how to eat only when hungry, how to not care about what anyone thinks of our singing voices, dance moves, or hairdos. We know how to play, create, and love without holding back. Then as we grow and learn from the people around us, we replace many of these primal understandings with negative, false beliefs, fear, shame, and self-doubt. Then we wind up in emotional and physical pain. Then we either numb our pain with drugs, sex, booze, TV, Cheetos, etc., or we settle for mediocrity. Or we rise to the occasion. Remember how truly mighty we are and set out to relearn everything we knew at the beginning all over again. So how do we do that? Well, it starts with loving yourself. And the first part of that is to appreciate how special you are. There will never be anyone exactly like you. You are given special gifts and talents to share with the world. And even though everybody has special gifts and talents, nobody will use theirs quite the same way you do. You have a way of being in the world and a perspective that's unique to you. You are the only one who thinks your thoughts the way you think them. You have created your own unique reality and are living your life according to your own unique path. You are the only you that will ever be. So, you are kind of a big deal. Second is to drown yourself in affirmations. I'm hearing the groans. I know. Oh, Jen says, trust me, I wouldn't do this to you unless I had to. But affirmations work. You don't have to say them in the mirror. You don't have to hug yourself or buy a special rainbow journal with a lock on it. But if you want to turn the ship around, you need to rewire your brain and train it to think differently. And that is what affirmations do for you. Figure out which affirmations you need to hear the most and repeat them all day long in your head, in the car, while you're walking down the street, pretending to be on the phone, under your breath, in line at the DMV. Write them on Post-it notes, stick them around your house, on your mirrors, in your refrigerator, in your car. Write down your favorite affirmations 10 times every morning and 10 times every night before you go to bed, and say them out loud. Here are some affirmations specific to self-love. Pick one or two that work for you and pummel yourself with them, such as I deserve and receive massive amounts of love every moment of every day. Or I am one with the universe. The universe is awesome, and so am I. My heart is open. Love pours in and out. I receive all the good that life has to offer me. Or try, I am brilliant, bright, and beautiful. Or maybe, I love how tall I am and I love the size of my ass. Those are just a couple that she has thrown out there. Come up with one that works for you, or at the very least, doesn't make you gag, and go with it. Now, this can't just be rattling off nonsense. You have to feel it and want it and get worked up by it in order for it to work. I'm going to leave it there for today, and I'm going to go over more of her points in the next few days. So, start with realizing how truly special you are, and then tell yourself how special you are all day long until you know it, you feel it, and most of all, you believe it. Oh, it is hump day already. We are halfway through the work week. Here we go, people. Let's get on out there and be badasses. You know I'm right here cheering you on.
Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist, hosted by Wendy McClure. For more inspiration, please visit hopefulist.com. Thanks, and we'll see you tomorrow on The Hopefulist.